Ah, it was really sore. Ow. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and Patreon. I'll put the handles down below. And over there, why am I doing this so fast? I'll explain in a second. So, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like vocal harmony breakdowns, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, and you will also have special access to my Discord group, which I'll put a link to down below. Now, the Discord bit is quite important because today we ain't reacting to nobody.
What?
What? I hear no one say. So I asked members of my Discord to ask me anything they like, and I would do my best to answer them. So I think we should maybe get some like lounge music, like ba ba da da ba 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 da ba, or something. I might have to edit this heavily. Here goes. So the first question comes from Danny, and she's asked, what are you most interested in a singer? That is a great question. So I guess the most important thing that I look for in any singer is emotional integrity. So as long as you understand the source material that you're singing, a lot of the vocal can be forgiven. You don't have to be the best singer in the world in order to make a great performance. You just have to understand what it is that you're singing about. I've got a friend, Greg, and he sums it up very, very well. He says, I don't want you to impress me, I want you to move me. And that sums it up perfectly for me. You know, people like Bob Dylan, for example, not the best singer in the world, but has this real storyteller vibe. He kind of immerses himself in the story of the song that he's singing, and therefore becomes a great performance. You know, likewise, there's some people that are insanely talented, but don't have that connection, and I kind of switch off. I'm just like, you know, you're wanting to show me how proficient you are, which is great. Like, I really appreciate people honing their craft that way as well, but in order to really get to me, I need some emotion in there. So I'd say emotional integrity. There, boom. Ben asks, what got you into singing in the first place? So, that's a good question. I, from a very, very young age, have been near impossible to shut up. I talk a lot. If you go back to my like first videos, you'll see I talk all the time. So, singing just kind of became this natural progression, I suppose. So as a really young kid, I would sing along to stuff all the time, and I just never really stopped. I feel like we'd have a lot more singers in the world if we didn't stop as kids. You know, we sing because we enjoy it and because there's so much fun to be had with vocals, but yeah, 9 times out of 10 people just get to a point and then they stop singing, and I think that's like very, very sad. So what got me into singing in the first place was my big loud mouth. And then from there on I just started singing at every opportunity. So been in loads of bands and different kind of outfits. So yeah, my big mouth got me into singing, Ben. Faiz, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce your name. F-A-I-Z, Faiz? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm tripping over your name so much. You've asked, when did you start to become a vocal coach? So I have been a vocal coach for a few years now, so not very long. I kind of started backwards. So I was a self-taught singer. I would basically listen to singers that I liked. I would emulate that style of voice and I would run from there, and then I'd find somebody else I liked and I'd pick up a vocal kind of recipe from them, and then I'd go over here and I'd pick up a recipe from somebody else. So I was doing a lot of stuff that vocal coaches would take you through, and and the way that I teach is kind of similar. I'll, try and pick up little textures here and there, but I was just doing it and didn't realise. So from there, I kind of ended up in different kind of acoustic situations, different band situations where I was in like harmony groups and kind of cut my teeth learning harmony that way. And then afterwards, so I've been doing that for years and years and years and years and years. And I had a lot of people asking, how did you do that? Can you teach me how to do that? Blah, blah, blah. And I didn't really have the vocabulary for it. I was like, I know how to do it, but I couldn't teach you how to do it. But I then went and did a few courses. One that really stuck with me was Still, which I'm continuing on with. I'm going to try and become a master teacher. So watch this space and hopefully I'll become a Still master teacher. But from doing these courses, I gained the vocabulary to be able to explain what I'm doing and also to be able to teach other people how to do it too. It was amazing. It was like a light bulb moment. So from that point on, I decided to do session singing and vocal coaching at the same time. The session singing basically means that I will adapt my voice to clients' needs. So I'll go in and I'll do background vocals for albums, or I'll do background vocals for stage performances, one of which was Lewis Capaldi, who is doing really, really well at the moment. So combining the two is just great because it gives you the balance and the knowledge between actually putting your vocals into practice in the real world of singing for a living, and also teaching and helping people to cultivate their own voices and their own sound. So I've been doing it for a couple of years, and that was a hugely long answer to a very simple question. Sorry. Okay, right. Amara has asked, what's the hardest part of this experience as a YouTuber / vocal coach for you? So there's many facets to that. So one of the things that's hard to deal with is hate. I get quite a lot of hate online. I mean, I'm gonna level with you. 9 out of 10 times I find it quite funny, because some of them are quite well constructed insults, and I'm Scottish, so I'm self-depreciating anyway. You can't insult me any worse than I can insult myself, so you can try. But yeah, hate's a pretty big thing on the list of being a hard part. You kind of worry that these people are safe and healthy, that they would feel the need to reach out and tell me how much they don't like me. Just think, okay, could have lived a long time without knowing that. But it's balanced out, because I get way more nice comments than I do horrible comments. But put it this way, if you were walking down the street and the first 10 people that you've seen paid you a compliment, you've got a nice smile, like what you're wearing today, blah blah blah, it'd be like, yeah, cool. And then the 11th person punches you square in the face and knocks a tooth out. It's the person that punches you in the face that you remember, because it's the bit that's kind of traumatic. So I try and balance those kind of feelings. And the hardest part about making videos is that it's hard to kind of get across that I'm not trying to insult anyone that I'm listening to, or have a got ya moment of like, this isn't quite live, or this has reverb, or this, that, and the next thing. I'm not trying to make out that anybody is not a good vocalist and they're not putting in hard work, because they are. But I think that it's important to highlight where technology plays a part in making a vocal sound as amazing as it does. Because if you're sitting in your house and you think, I don't sound like that, believe you me, if you went into a studio, they could make you sound amazing, if you can hold pitch, of course. But yeah, I'm not out to get anybody. So if it's like one of your favourite people in the whole world and I say something that's slightly out of turn, it's not because I hate them and I want to slag them off online. It's purely to do with vocals and trying to dispel a few things that maybe some folk don't know with with regards to how vocals work in the real world. I also think that it's important to show people what real voices actually sound like. I just think we need to get to a place where a natural vocal isn't something that's to be regarded as strange, because at the moment it kind of is. Like, we're treating all these doctored vocal effects and stuff and passing them off as live, and I don't think that's fair to the general public. So yeah, that's one of the things. And as a vocal coach, I don't really have any hard parts as a vocal coach. I love listening to people singing, I love vocals, so there's really nothing that I dislike about that. I enjoy every kind of second of it, to be honest. And finally, Drusio asks, most hilarious, cringe, wholesome experience as a vocal coach YouTuber. And then he says, I know it's vast, but I want examples. I mean, there are too many to mention. For embarrassing, there's a time that I thought that the grown woman was a child in one of the videos. There seems to be quite a lot of people in there. Is that a child?
Are you stupid or something?
Or a very, very, very small adult?
Take a little time, baby.
Oh, it's a woman. She's a tiny, tiny little woman though. Just tiny, like Arietti. There's all the weird little references that I do to allude to games. I don't know why I go to games so much, but I do. For some reason, like as I was watching that, I kept thinking about that bit in Final Fantasy 13-2, you know, when Yuna and the ghost of not Yuna but looks exactly like her end up singing together. This reminds me of Decap Attack on the Mega Drive. It kind of reminds me of the board game Atmosphere. If anyone remembers that, with that gatekeeper guy calling everyone maggot.
Answer me, you maggot!
I could just be talking absolute nonsense. There's a thing in Final Fantasy X, and it's like this big plant pod thing, and it spits out seeds. It goes. That's what that reminds me of. It's so fast. It's incredible. Weird. It's just where my brain goes. Embarrassing. I mean, there's one video that nobody's seen, and it's one where I got myself a tea and I sat down to listen to it, and I use like tea bags, and it burst, but I didn't know that it had burst. So I'd filled my mouth with tea leaves, so it looked like I had like millions of holes in my teeth. And I did the whole video like la 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 la. At the time I didn't have a screen that I could see, and I thought, oh, great. And then I went back and I watched it and I was utterly horrified. But I mean, it was hilarious at the same time because I was absolutely none the wiser. So that was kind of embarrassing. Wholesome, just speaking to folk, like speaking to people that I've met and connected with over the year or so that I've been doing this YouTube thing. It's been really nice. You know, I've broadened my horizons. There's vocalists that I never knew existed that I'm so happy to have in my like repertoire now. Not repertoire, but you know what I mean. So that's wholesome. What else? Let's think. Some of my funniest videos are the ones where I have somebody with me, like the in conversations with.
Mary, you were flat in that one, right?
That's actually like.
So that was Yeba. Now.
Oh God, I'm cold. I'll get used to these, I promise.
Rosemary never survived. She strangled herself to death with headphones. Into her peppermint tea and drowned. My dad's got the best guitar face.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Show us it.
Oh, I do know I can do it.
Oh yeah, in fact, because I've played with your dad before. Yeah, he's
in a musical
awesome.
sense.
Yeah. Yes.
I know they don't get as much traction because there's lots of talking in them, but I genuinely have such a good time having people around and chatting vocals and getting up to all sorts of nonsense. So that's wholesome and hilarious, and probably cringe because of the way that I talk. Cringe, getting used to speaking to a camera like it's a person is not easy. Took a while to get used to that. So I suppose if you look back on my like old videos where I'm like this size in the back of the screen, that's kind of embarrassing. But it got me to this kind of point where I'm comfortable. So, you know, every cloud and all that. So thank you so much for all your questions. That was a load of fun to film. If you want to ask me some questions, then consider joining the Discord group, and there's an Ask Me Anything folder, sub thing. I'm so old that I don't actually know what any of this stuff means. I'm just winging it, like winging the technology, don't have a clue. But go into Discord, join, say hello, we all have a good chat in there. So yeah, catch you on the next one. So hope you enjoyed that automatic. So hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give it a like and a thumbs up. And if you want to see more and hear more about me, then get involved on Discord and get asking some questions. I could possibly do another live stream. I've been threatening to do that for a while. So if that's something you're interested in, then do let me know and we'll get on that. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? I can just do it normally because there's nothing to base it on. Goodbye. That wasn't normal. That was not normal. Goodbye. Bye.